All right, hello everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Today is Van Life update number 77. Today we're going to talk about money. You can't have a project without a budget, without money. Somehow the project has to get paid for, and so today I want to share with you the way we're going to fund Van Life America, the budget, and it'll give you an idea of the process that I'm going through, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you to see how I'm approaching this, so that if you want to do something similar, have some sort of a project that you want to fund, this is the way we're going to do it. Our goal is to have the entire project paid for by sponsorships. Now, how are we going to pay for it? You think I'm going to just walk down and write a check for $65,000 and buy a brand new Ford Transit? I don't think so. But this is the way we're going to try to do it. It's a 3-year nationwide van life documentary style study where I'll be doing uploads. I'll be posting content on this channel, Mitch and his van, and I'll be creating art. I'll be taking photographs. I'll be filming. I'll be doing all kinds of things as we go along, and we'll be sharing my life on the road. We're going to brand our vehicle with a vinyl wrap, which means our sponsorships are going to be exposed on the van itself. We're going to have basically a mobile billboard. And in terms of a budget, what we're looking at, I'll just give you as broad a statement as I can in terms of the overview of what it's going to cost. We're looking at the purchase of the van itself, which is a 2026 Ford Transit. I think we're going to get a high roof because I'm 6 feet tall. I need the headspace, so I'm going to get a high roof. I want the all-wheel drive, and I want the 148 wheelbase. I don't want the extended. We're going to go with the shorter 148 standard wheelbase. So the van purchase itself is going to cost probably around $60,000, $60,000 to $65,000. By the time you add the things that you want on there in terms of the options. Now it's going to be a cargo van, of course. The van from the factory is going to be basically a cargo van. It's going to be totally empty in the back, and then we'll take that cargo van to the van builder, who's going to build out the van to make it suitable for the road. So the van purchase itself, we're looking at somewhere around $60,000. The build out, you can actually do a minimum, or what we would call just the basics of a build out, for about $25,000, $25,000 to $30,000. If we want a full build out, which is what I'm aiming for, it could go upwards of $60,000, $60,000, $75,000, depending on how many bells and whistles you want to add to the thing. So the van build itself will be roughly $65,000. So the van itself and the van build together, we're looking at about $120,000, maybe 100. In terms of a range, 120 all the way up to 200,000 and above. But I'm going to try to keep it around the 150,000 range. That's what we're looking at. The third category is the camera and production gear. I'm going to need to purchase some camera gear. Right now, all I've got is my iPhone. That's not going to cut it for a 3-year project. I'm going to have to purchase some camera gear. We're going to have make sure we have plenty of storage. So there's going to be some expense for camera and production gear over the next 3 years. So we're allowing about $3,000 to $6,000 for camera gear. All right, let's talk about travel expenses in terms of just the nuts and bolts of traveling every day, the gas, the fuel. We're estimating the cost of our traveling expenses to be somewhere around $15,000 to $20,000 for the year. That's roughly figure $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month maybe. That would include fuel, that would include food, that would include parking fees and camp fees if we stay at an RV camp. And that would give us a maintenance buffer of about $2,000 to $4,000 that we can set aside for maintenance. Those are travel expenses. So our travel expenses are going to be $15,000 to $20,000. Insurance, we're figuring $3,000 to $6,000 for insurance. That would include the registration renewals and some regular maintenance like oil changes and that sort of thing. So insurance and vehicle cost $3,000 to $6,000. Production and business cost. That would include software. I use the Adobe Suite, which costs me $60 a month. That's $720 a year right there, plus cloud storage, plus maintaining a website. So we're looking at production and business costs somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000. The creator compensation, $24,000 a year. That's $2,000 a month for the creator, which is me, because I've got bills to pay. That would be food, essentials, daily living, my health, and personal expenses, communication, my cell phone, those kinds of things. Only $2,000 a month. I feel like that's perfectly reasonable. So that would be $24,000 a year for that. All right, so that pretty much hits most of the major categories. If we look at a budget breakdown and we add it all together, we're looking at a total of somewhere between $127,000 to $185,000, and that would be for the full project. All the expenses and everything that we've got in terms of the upper range. Our sponsor entry points. As a sponsor, you can get in for as little as $5,000 for the year, or you can, if you want to be a title sponsor, it would be up to $25,000 to $30,000 for the year. And that's what I was talking about in terms of different levels of sponsors, anywhere between $5,000 on the low end up to $25,000 to $30,000 on the upper end. And when we look at all the basic cost, a total for the 3-year project. In other words, if someone wanted to write me a check for the entire 3-year project, paid in full, we're looking at a range of $215,000 to $293,000. $215,000 to $293,000 would pay for the entire 3 years, and that would include the van and everything included. In terms of breaking that down into an annual cost, on the low end, we're looking at $74,000 per year. On the low end, $98,000 on the upper end. Because we have to deal with the ranges here because we don't know exactly what the costs are going to be. We're just dealing with some ranges because we're making some estimates. All right, so if we're looking at an annual cost of somewhere between $74,000 and $98,000 a year, how are we going to raise the money for that? Well, the income, like I say, is going to come through sponsorships. And the way we have these sponsorships set up, you're going to have a title sponsor, a title partner. We're going to have our van builder partner. We're going to have a technology partner. We're going to have lifestyle partners, and then, of course, affiliates. And that's the way we're going to break down our sponsorships, and they're going to be at different levels. Just to give you an example, if you want to be our title sponsor, that means our big sponsor, our number uno big sponsor who's going to get most of the benefits and most of the notice, and you're going to have the huge logo on the van itself. You're going to have the biggest logo. You're going to have all the mentions in the videos. You're going to be on our shirts. You're going to be everywhere. You're going to be the major sponsor of our art exhibition. You're looking at $25,000 to $30,000 to be our title sponsor. And then it goes all the way down in different levels to where if you want to be an affiliate and just pay a commission on anything that we generate in terms of sales, then it won't cost you anything. All we have to do is have your permission to be an affiliate. And we will add you to our website. We'll add you to our affiliate stores when we get them online, an Amazon store, perhaps, and it's just a matter of trying to help you sell your products that are specifically available. You want to have products that are used by van lifers, by RVers, by people who camp, people who travel. Those are the kind of products we're looking for in terms of affiliates. So on the low end, as an affiliate, doesn't cost you anything. All we need is permission to help sell your product. On the upper end, if you want to be our title sponsor and get all the benefits, most of the benefits, 25 to 30,000, and then the other tiers fall in between that. And I will go into more detail in another video on our sponsorships to make sure that is clear to everybody. So I want you to, the reason I'm doing all this is because I want to be as transparent and open as I can about what we're doing. And I want you to be a part of it. I want you to understand every step of the way that we're doing this and be a part of everything that we do and have all the information that I can share with you. And that's the reason I'm wanting to go into detail with all of these finances. So I think probably tomorrow or maybe the next day, sometime in the next couple of days, I'll come back and we'll talk more about these sponsorship tiers because it's going to be available for everybody. I mean, you can be an affiliate and not pay a dime, or you can become a title sponsor and, for the year and become $25,000, $30,000 to be our title sponsor. And we'll be looking for, of course, major brands to kick in at that point. So if you work at Starlink, if you work with Elon over at Starlink, I want Starlink to be my title sponsor for this year. So if you work for Starlink, give me a call. All right, that's the update for today. Hope you have a good day. Go out and have a nice one, and I will see you again tomorrow.